Chaos reigns in the world of Legend in this week's preview for pre-orders coming on August 8th with the standard 2-week pre-order window. So this is, of course, lots of new Chaos units for the old world. Up first, we have the Lord on Chaos Dragon. Now we'll zoom in a little bit for the picture here. You do get a foot lord in this kit as well. So you can have a mounted lord with a foot sorcerer or a mounted sorcerer with a foot lord. The dragon heads seem to have some variety. Looks like you get some different options for the horns and which head goes on which side and which one has the open mouth versus closed mouth. So it looks like you get a little bit of option there. The horns, it looks like, can swap around. I'm not sure if there's... We'll of course get more details when the sprue is available. You can also build it without a rider if you prefer. So a very cool looking dragon. I think all of these for Old World were shown in the Big Summer preview earlier. This next one is the Champions of Chaos. So it's a foot lord and a mounted lord. These are also in the new starter set that comes with Chaos Warriors and Grand Cathay. So we've seen these before, but these are now available by themselves if you're looking to pick up additional ones, or if you missed out on that set, or if you only wanted one half of that set. So very nice looking models for those as well. Comes with one banner, so you can have a mounted banner or a foot banner instead of two options for that. There's also the Chaos Warriors on foot. 16 Chaos Warriors in this pack. These were also in that new starter set. You get a bunch of interchangeable heads, shields, and weapons, which they've been pretty good with on the new kits for giving you a variety of options. Some really nice looking models. Then up next, we have the Chaos Knights, which are also in that new starter set. This box will come with 8 of them, with interchangeable lances, heads, and shields, and 2 sets for a champion, standard bearer, and musician if you want to build them as 2 separate squads. You can also build them as one set as one larger squad. The Chaos Warrior kits have fewer models than the other armies, but they are more elite infantry, so like the Grand Cathay. Then we also get 2 new Battle March armies. So they showed these earlier. These are kind of like a combat patrol starting point. A smaller game size, part of their new smaller game size that we've seen over the last few weeks. In this case, we'll get one for Grand Cathay, and we'll get one for Warriors of Chaos. I imagine these are going to replace the battle forces that they've had previously, but I don't know for certain. But I would suspect that these will replace those going forward. On the Grand Cathay, so we have a block of 20 Jade Warriors. We have 5 Jade Lancers, 6 Iron Hail Gunners, and 4 Crane Gunners. We have a Lord on Longma. A nice entry point into the army if you're interested. And then on the Warriors of Chaos side, we have you get 8 Warriors of Chaos, 4 Chaos Knights, a Sorcerer of Chaos, and 5 Chaos Marauder Horsemen, as well as 20 Chaos Marauders. So a little heavier on the Marauder side of things than the Warriors of Chaos, which, if you don't have any of those, still I think makes a good starting point. But if you are only interested in the heavier armored Warriors of Chaos instead of the Marauders, then this isn't as good a deal. Overall, I think it's still probably a pretty good entry point into the hobby, as these sorts of boxes are typically a decent discount off of buying everything separately. They did announce recently, in the last few weeks, that there are 5 more of these boxes coming for the other armies, which I imagine will come up in the next couple weeks, would be my guess for pre-order. Then, of course, there's the Arcane Journal for the March of Chaos, a nice Arcane Journal with rules for Chaos Champions, Wind of Magic, as expected. Then we have the Arcane Magic Ploys card pack, which I thought was coming out earlier, but it turns out it was the one that did not release. So we recently got the Common Magic Item reference card and Lore of Magic reference cards. I thought these were also coming out then, but I was mistaken. They are coming out now, though. 56 cards with a wide range of mystical effects for any wizard. Then we have some Blood Bowl. So we have Morg and Thorg for Blood Bowl, which are star players, so usable on any of the teams, except for Undead in this case. And we also get a Blood Bowl Minotaur for Chaos Warbands, or Chaos Blood Bowl teams, and a Blood Bowl Rat Ogre for Skaven. Then we have Spike Journal Issue 22 with some rules for Blood Bowl, double-sided pitches and dugouts, as well as White Dwarf issue 527. Then we have a limited edition of Bjorn the Fell-Handed. There's a nice cover here. This will be a signed copy and only available while stocks last. As I mentioned in previous weeks, if you are interested in a limited edition book, this is something you do want to try to be there to order right when it comes up, because they do go very quickly. I don't think they produce that many of them, and they sell very, very quickly. Then, of course, there is some Warhammer Plus, Lore Masters, Warhammer 40k battle reports, and some painting desk. So that is everything for this week. Some really nice looking stuff for the Warriors of Chaos with the individual release of some of the kits we've seen previously. I would suspect that the other Battle March boxes that they've shown previously will be coming out sometime in the next month or so. That's just a guess on my part, but that'd be for Empire, Beastmen, Orcs, High Elves, and Wood Elves. My guess is that this is where the current battle forces will be moved to. So there'll be this new Battle March box as the sort of entry point into Warhammer, the old world, as opposed to the current battle force. That's just my guess, though. But they're more like a combat patrol sized box. So I suspect that's what they'll move to. They are typically a pretty good discount over buying all the kits separately, provided you want everything that comes in them, just like the starter set. If you want both armies, or you want the one army and the rulebook, it's a pretty good discount regardless. Obviously, it's better if you want everything that comes in the box. We've seen what will come in those previously, but we'll cover those when they are up for pre-order. I think this is a pretty good entry box for Grand Cathay, and I think if you like the Marauders and the Warriors of Chaos, this is a pretty good Warriors of Chaos box as well. If you already have the Marauders and don't want more of them, this becomes a little less valuable. I was kind of hoping that this one would have more of the Warriors of Chaos stuff than some of the Marauders. Since I do already have some of the Marauders, I might have picked it up then. But for me, because I have those Marauders already, I'm probably going to let this one pass. And maybe look to pick up the starter set if I find somebody who wants to split it. Or maybe just buy one box of the Warriors of Chaos. That's probably the better bet. Actually, I'll probably buy the Champion of Chaos first and see how it is to put them together. I don't play Blood Bowl, but I do have some friends who do, so I hope if you are interested in these star players, you get the one you're looking for. And that's everything for this week. So let me know your thoughts on these new Chaos models and Blood Bowl models that we're getting this week in the comments down below. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.